enough confidence in the things that I know. I have enough wisdom to see the logic will be shown. I got one chance to show you what I got. I got one chance to show I'm confident or not. Self-evident reason, deductions and conclusions, and the fools are running away. It's not what you say, it's only what you can prove. You better watch your step, you better mind your P's and Q's. You got one chance, show me what you got. You got one chance to show you confident or not. Don't get caught in the matrix of all of these fakers. Society's spinning, and I'm just here living on the ground. Self-evident reason, deductions and conclusions, logically thinking, and the fools are running away. You're flipping over backwards to show me where you think you are. Your model dictates that you never see too far. Shrinking in the distance, you can do fuck all with an angle, and the fools are running away.
Welcome started laughing and made a error in your first statement that I heard, calling people flat earthers.
What are you guys?
Ordinary
Stationary?
guys. Just ordinary guys, man.
Ordinary
Coming in here to
guys.
learn.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
Go ahead.
We thought you might be the
Yeah,
flat
that's
earthers.
fine.
That's why we came in to listen. You're in the flat earth server, aren't you? We thought we'd come in and listen what you were talking about.
Oh, so you guys want to be nosy, huh?
Yeah, I heard that somebody wanted to be taught about satellites, so I'm curious as well. Thought we might be able to get a bit of information out of somebody. Don't, like I say, don't stop. Keep going.
Yeah, so like satellites make a lot of sense to me on a globe model, and I'm trying to figure out how they would make sense on a flat Earth.
Well, I'd say like
You
in
just jumped
reality.
Right there. I mean, gosh, that was about a good 10 seconds of just like, who?
Go on, carry on then.
Exactly.
I'll just give you the reality run.
What you get.
Do you want the reality version? They're just sort of towers. They call them satellites because that's where they pick the signal up from. But they're just land-based towers and beacons.
Do you have proof of that?
Yeah,
So
you
like when I go
go and ask a surveyor where he gets his satellites are, where they all are that he's picking them up from.
When I go out into the mountains and it's like a particularly clear night and I see these dim lights shoot across the sky, those are not satellites.
could be planes, so actually you can't identify them, so they're technically UFOs. So probably not.
Well, I have an app on my phone that tells me that they're satellite.
Just saying.
I've got an app on my phone that tells me when Santa Claus is coming.
Does Santa Claus actually come?
I don't know. Do the satellites actually fly over?
So like I can like say like what satellites are flying by, and it'll identify a satellite before it reaches the horizon, and then I can wait for it and watch it fly over.
Cool.
So that's a little different than Santa Claus, isn't it?
What do you use satellites for?
Well, hold on. We know when Santa Claus is going to be at the North Pole, right? And then when he's going to, so we know where he is December 23rd, right? But December 24th, we know he's in North America. So, I mean, knowing where a satellite is, that's a lot more accurate than Santa Claus, I'd say.
Cool. What do you use satellites for?
So, like my real question is like if those aren't satellites, then what are they?
You'll get everything from them. You'll get balloons. You'll get, yeah. I mean, they're just gonna deny it all the way.
Like I get alerts on my phone when the International Space Station flies over, and I can go outside and verify. I can go look at it. So like if that's not the ISS, then what is it?
Oh yeah, I've seen it. I've seen it through a telescope. These guys, do you think they'll ever do the kind of legwork and go actually look at it for themselves? No. They're just going to keep denying it, and but you know the negligence it falls on them, basically. So like yeah, like if I ask them who tried to look at the ISS through a telescope with a star tracker, and they're gonna say no.
Go ahead and ask them.
So
So it's just
have you
the
seen?
stars tracked over a flat plane.
So like planets, like wandering stars.
Pretty much, when you look with your own telescope, they look like bobs of undulating light. You have to go to NASA for the stylized imagery that makes them look like terra firma.
That's a total lie. No, that's a total lie. When you look at them through a telescope, you can actually resolve them pretty well. Like you can resolve the moon. I hate when flat earthers come in here and say, "Oh, we don't know what the moon is," but gosh, you use a 12-inch telescope that you have to like actually climb,
Show us.
like climb a ladder and just look through the eyepiece.
We'll give that to you, but the other planets.
We got any pictures?
No, but there's flat earthers that come in and say, we don't know what the moon is, but my gosh, you look at it and it's a big giant white rock, you know, with craters on it. Not some horrible light.
And the moon rocks that they gave off were petrified wood. So it would be nice if we could get a sample. Does it look solid? Sure. Is it a solid crystal? A solid rock? You know, it would be nice if we could get a freaking sample.
I'd like to see an example of what you were just talking about.
They have reflectors on the moon too. You can actually
Show us.
Yeah.
bounce lasers off of.
They say they were bouncing late
Yeah.
before that whole reflector business, so that narrative was highly questionable. The moon landing doesn't even appear to have occurred based on
Well, you're just
something happening outside the moon. So that whole
What's your guys' acumen in geometry?
Sine, cosine, tangent,
No, these other guys.
Oh, that's Triggs, retard.
sine.
What?
Well, that answers that.
So you ask about geometry and you get called names? That's kind of childish.
Hey, what? Okay, who asked about geometry?
Yeah, it was me. What's your acumen in
Do
geometry?
you know about geometry? Do you know about geometry?
Let's get to your.
Yes or
We're
no?
not going to go anywhere if we're asking each other questions like this, but no answers. What's your final point,
That's
Buster?
Oh, I was asking these
No,
guys
what-
we came in here with.
What? Do you know about basic geometry? I'm asking you.
That was my question.
Since you want to ask people.
Questions?
Yeah, we have a couple of people
take
here.
us nowhere.
We have a couple of people here that are very good in geometry. What would you like to know?
Okay, who's claiming they're good at geometry?
Well, I would volunteer Bev or
You would?
take your choice, Bev or Rakia or Buster.
I'll take you since you're piping up.
No, I'm the least knowledgeable of geometry here.
Well, you still
Oh,
still be
okay.
better than him. I don't know.
Let's go with Buster.
Okay, so we've established
Let's
that
go with
people are
Buster.
good
Yeah,
at
let's go.
trigonometry or whatever. Is anybody going to make a final point, or is this it? Who's good at geometry and that's it? I mean, is there a final point here or what?
Yeah.
What, are you the
We'll get
lawyer
there,
here?
won't
Are you the lawyer here now, Lemon? What's going on?
After 5 years of this stuff, the time to waste time is long past. What is the final point?
Yeah,
Okay, I'd like to ask
still
our
here.
gentleman friend here, what is a straight line? How's that for a question or a point?
Okay, I have another question for you.
So you're not going to answer. You're going to ask me a question.
Well, I thought the other guy asked me about geometry, so I was
Yeah.
kinda,
I was
Okay,
gonna
you
go,
can talk with the other guy. Go ahead.
I was
Bev.
gonna, yeah, Bev or yeah, that's. I mean, I was gonna ask the
Or
same.
Buster.
I was
yeah.
I was gonna ask the same exact question. How do you define a straight line?
okay, so you know about geometry, right?
You asked me what my question
So without
was,
Googling,
and I said my question would be the same
anything,
question.
what's the formula to find the area of a circle? Go. It's very easy. Go. Look, he stays quiet. There you go. My point exactly, dude. Look, he just Googled it.
I didn't Google
That's
anything.
sad.
Do you answer? Do you, when you ask a question, do you give somebody time to answer, or you just go on and on and on?
It's literally 3 letters, dude.
I mean, I knew what it
One
was.
number.
No, I knew what it was. I'm just saying. I asked you first. How do you define a straight line?
That's sad that nobody just immediately piped up and said. That's just. Thank you very much, Globers.
Three
And
letters.
Flappers.
Three letters, did you say?
Yeah, I'll take the bet on the letters.
That's game, set, match right there.
Go on, give us the 3 letters then.
What? Silence?
He's Googling it.
Well, he picked me as a weak link, and I asked him what a straight line was, and I still haven't gotten an answer.
That was going to be my first question anyway. So.
Well, me, I would know this because my job, what I do for a living, entails it. So I would know. And I have a degree actually in conservation, so yes, I would know.
Well, you're in good company here because certain people do that for a living as well. You're not the only one. You got a guy here that, he does this for a living every day, travels in his truck with auto levels, the auto lights, all kinds of shit like that. Would you like to talk with him?
Yes, exactly what I do too. Thank you very much.
Nice. Are you a surveyor as well? Or do you just do casual surveying?
Not actually a surveyor. No, I'm more of like a liaison.
All right, a surveying liaison. Have you found those 3 letters for the area of a circle yet?
You guys haven't even said it. It's amazing. You still haven't. No, I'm waiting for you guys. Of course I know it, but I'm waiting for you guys. I mean, come
My
on. You
first
can even
question was,
Google
what's
it.
how do you define a
That's how
straight
slow
line?
you
But
guys
you
are.
still haven't answered that either.
Yeah, you're hurting my feelings as well because I asked
Yeah.
it first.
Well, that's true. Yeah.
So come on, tell us, man. Come on. I mean, it's your job and all. You're a liaison. I guess you put together the Theodolite boys with the auto level boys and the what's it called, the station. you lays those 3 together. Is that what you do?
Is apple pie a letter also? What about blueberry pie?
Yeah, A and B. Yeah.
How many letters in that formula again, sir? Might want to take a mulligan.
I think I know it, but I don't want to play his little game. I never answer those little questions. What's up with your questions?
Yeah, he's
Like, what's your degree?
He's pie a letter.
Yeah, exactly. You probably would say yes.
If not, it should be.
Yeah. And then is the squared bit, is that a letter?
After you Google it,
When you square the R, is that 2 letters? 2 R's?
I'll guarantee you nobody here other than you Googled any of that.
What about times as well? Could you class that as a letter? Like an X?
Were you counting the X as the times as a letter? Or were you counting pi as a letter?
Or the squared?
So are you surprised? What you're hearing?
You know what? Here, guys. I got an easier one. Pythagorean's theorem, go. Anybody? Fast.
Oh man, we love Pythagoras.
Anyone?
I use it every day.
A squared plus B squared
Anyone?
equals
No?
C squared. Yeah.
That's awesome.
3 letters.
It's that easy. It's that easy.
Wow. You know, triangles have 180 degrees. All of them. Every time. Otherwise, Pythagoras' theorem wouldn't work, would it? Oh, you need a right angle triangle as well, don't you?
Didn't pipe up? It was Buster again. The guy who's asking people about math, he literally didn't say the easiest thing is a squared plus b squared plus c thing is a squared plus b squared plus c thing is a squared plus b squared plus c squared.
I
Right?
told you I use it every day. I know
Yeah.
He
exactly
didn't
what
know.
Pythagoras
He didn't know
is.
that either.
No,
Then why couldn't you just say it?
he did.
It shows that you didn't know.
Dude, you're way out of your league here, man.
Yeah.
I hate to say it.
so short. Oh, sorry about that.
Playing so short. Oh, sorry. Playing so short.
Awful quiet in here.
Hey, all right, Ruhe.
Hey, Ruhev.
Yeah.
Hello.
We just had
retard.
we just schooling some guy on the area of a circle.
Is that your boy, Ruhev?
Yeah. Did he call
Is
you
that your
in?
boy, Ruhev?
Which of my boys?
Jamesy.
Jamesy. I don't actually know Jamesy. What was he being schooled on? The area of a circle.
Yeah, he was.
That's what he was asking us, like we
Yeah.
didn't know.
What's the area of a circle?
I didn't.
Three letters,
3 letters apparently.
according to Jamie.
Guys, I didn't ask about the circle. I was asking about satellites.
Oh,
Okay.
is that NASA then?
See, I believe Jamesy because you guys are utter fucking lying retards.
Must have been NASA then.
Oh, name calling.
Oh, yeah. Well, Bandy's not here, so I can call you retards as much as I want.
Why does he stop you from?
Yeah,
Wow.
moderator.
Maybe show your character even more and talk about mamas getting down on knees. Why don't you read it
Yeah.
while you at it?
Sucking my dick.
Yeah.
Yeah. Last time were you doing with
Quite the
chickens?
man.
Last time, Ruhif? Last time we was in here.
Say again?
What?
Oh, the chicken fucking. That was fantastic. The moral questions. That was actually a good conversation.
Well, like I say, you were the one having the conversation. A little bit strange.
Sure.
But I guess that's what you do on Flat Earth servers, right?
Yeah. Have discussions about ethical questions. Yes, we do, apparently.
So, are you involved with the FBI and that Steve thing, or is Uni just
The only
making
thing
that
that
up?
I know about the FBI is the tweet that Steve put out a day or two ago saying he's going to the FBI in about 10 days.
Did he cut out on everyone then? It's like sort of fade into the distance.
Sorry?
Did you?
Did I
said-
cut out?
Going to the FBI in 10 days.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the only thing I know about the FBI.
Nice. Well, he said the FBI are involved. That's all I know. He
Sorry,
said-
who said that?
Uni.
I'm sure he did.
Yeah. In the
I'm
video
sure you
that he
believe
was
Uni as
talking-
well.
He was talking about you, innit?
I'm sure he was, Bev.
He was.
I'm sure he was. Do I look like I care what Uni says?
I can't see you, Rufus.
Okay, well, I don't care what Uni says.
Okay. It's pretty big for this sort of community, though, isn't it? Your community.
What is? What is?
If the FBI are getting involved in the Go Fraud Me's and
Oh,
all of these
yeah, I
cases.
sure, fine. If they've defrauded someone, fine.
And the doxing as well.
Who docs who?
Well, isn't that what that video's about?
I don't know. I'm not going to watch Uni Rock.
I say it's involving you.
I'm sure if it's about the NDA and KJP and non-sec, I'm sure it does involve me.
Yeah. He says you're the money man.
Apparently.
You're not worried, though.
I'm not worried.
Good.
Yes.
But he says he's proved that you're a liar.
I'm sure that he says that, Bev.
Yeah.
I'm sure that he says
But
that.
if he has, that means that you're a proven
Well,
liar.
has he? Has he? What is he saying I've lied about? If he's saying I lied
you'll
about the
have to-
NDA, he is wrong.
You'll have to watch the
I
video.
have never said there was no NDA. I didn't even know there was an NDA until a couple of weeks ago. I assumed there was, but I made a point of never asking Steve, is there an NDA?
Well, that's convenient.
Did not know. Hey?
That's convenient.
Sure. I mean, I assumed there was, because no one was saying anything.
Yeah. Yeah, Uni said he said it about a year ago. But
Uni said what?
He said there was a NDA about a year ago, but you don't watch anything that he does anyway.
So hang on, Uni said there's an NDA a year ago.
Yeah, that's what he said in the video
Okay,
that
fine.
you haven't watched.
I'm sure he did say that a year ago, because I had many Twitter conversations with him a year ago.
But
All about this secret agreement that no one could confirm or deny.
Mm-hmm. Cool. I think it's one of those big things at the minute. It's not a lot of people talking about it, is there? All of them go fraud me's and all of this.
Oh yeah, fucking Ilya Moon and Sean Hufford, yeah, pretty bad.
Yeah. I bet there was a few drones bought and all of that sort of stuff. Slice Barkane and his bending water level thing.
Are you calling Slice Barkane a fraud? Would you like me to start recording, Bev?
I didn't call him a fraud.
Okay, just checking.
I just said the GoFundMe's that were all going on.
Yeah, and Sean Hufford and Ilya Moon were fraudulent, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well,
are
I
you
mean, I don't
calling
know.
Slice
I don't
Barkane's-
know whether they were fraudulent or not. I'm
I
not
think
going to
that's
be the
been
one to
established.
judge, am I?
I'm pretty sure that's been established.
Okay. So what was it that made them fraudulent then? Them not fulfilling
Raising
the
money for... Ilya Moon lied about having cancer and took, I don't know, a few grand or something.
I heard about that one. So is
Hufford
it
said
the
he was
fact
being
that they
kicked out.
start a GoFundMe up with a lie at the beginning with so that they don't fulfill the outcome of the GoFundMe?
Yeah, raising money under false pretenses, yeah.
That's what makes it a fraud.
Yeah. Come on, keep talking about Sly. I am recording now, by the way, for everyone here.
Talking. No, I'm just saying that if
I bet you won't.
if that's the case, right, not doing what they set out to do in the GoFundMe, and that's what makes it fraudulent.
Under
Is that why you
raised
came in
money
here?
under false... Say again?
You came in here to hem somebody up.
To hem somebody up? No, actually. Came in
Why
because
are
I'm
you
bored. I gotta
recording?
go in like 10 minutes. Hey,
Why are you recording and hoping?
I want to hear
talking
Bev
about-
call Sly a fraud.
Why?
Why?
Because
So you can hem him
Sly
up?
seems really keen to sue people, so
But Sly's the one that's called me a fraud.
fine.
Yeah. So is that the way it goes, right? People call people falsehoods, and then what? You sue people. Is that the way?
You wanna say-
I've noticed the way
you wanna
Sly
say
works.
Sly
'Cause he
raised money
always-
under false
He
pretenses?
always puts a was it a Twitter report on any meme I ever post. I keep getting them. Things from Germany.
You keep getting Twitter reports.
Yeah.
All right. okay.
Any meme.
I didn't know people got notified of those.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah,
what
do you not
country?
know that people get notified? And then they say,
Oh,
yeah,
I've
it's all
never
right.
heard
We
Twitter
didn't
find
find
it.
anything wrong with it. They keep doing that.
Yeah.
But they have to let you know, especially in Germany. It's if anybody in Germany reports you, you get notified. And that's where
So you're
Sly
not going to
is.
say that Sly raised money under false pretenses.
No, I didn't say that.
Okay. All right, good.
He's not done what he said he was going to do with his GoFundMe yet, has he? He's not fulfilled
Yeah,
that.
The test that
would
he
you say-
attempted to do.
Would you say he's done that, Drew?
Did he attempt to do the test that he raised money for? Yes, he did do that.
Well, attempt.
Well, he spent the money on the equipment, right?
Yeah. Yeah, he said he's
So
got it
call
in
that
his
fraud
shed
is
at the
pretty
bottom,
piss weak,
hasn't he?
Bev.
I've not called it fraud. Well, do you just keep suggesting it is?
You're getting close to the line, but you just won't go over
No,
it. That's
you're
fine.
the one that
That's well
keeps
done.
wanting, for some reason,
Yeah, because I'd find it hilarious if Sly sued you.
Right, well, that'd be really weird, wouldn't it? Why would he want to do that?
Oh, in case you accuse him of raising money fraudulently.
No, I was just saying about what made it a fraudulent GoFundMe is people not doing what they said they would do with the initial statement, right?
Raising money under false pretenses.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, but did you not hear the drone comment that I said earlier?
What about the drone comment?
GoFundMes for drones and stuff.
I literally have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, that's all right. Yeah, we wouldn't want anybody to be recording anything, would they? Would you?
No.
Good to know, though, that you're with us with these
Good to hear from you, Rio.
GoFundMes,
Hey.
GoFraudMes, or whatever.
How come the other two boys quit talking when you came in?
He's
Which other boys?
he's the money man. That's what they say. Ruhif's the big man. That's what Unirock says anyway, isn't it? He says you're
They
the
know
head honcho, Ruhif.
They know their place, I guess.
This doofus talks, they have to listen? Are you kidding?
They wouldn't want to get caught up in Ruhif's recording on this server.
Right. Well, record this, doofus.
Okay.
That's slander, calling somebody doofus? Not that I called anybody doofus, but
Is it slander? Is insults a slander?
wow.
No. Slander.
Jose
the action or
doesn't
crime
bother
making
because you're on
false.
YouTube, aren't you?
False and damaging statements. I don't think insults are slander.
So this is what you guys have resorted to now? You have no arguments left and you're bringing in the lawyers?
What?
Wow. What have we done to you guys, man?
What are you
Gee,
talking about?
you're talking about slander, this, slander, that. What happened to good old
I think you are
crotch
talking
and
about
insults
slander.
back and forth?
Yeah,
No, you
you're
are.
talking about slander.
You
No,
said you
I'm
started
wondering
recording,
whether
hoping that fly was
insulting.
too.
is slander or not.
Still recording?
Sorry?
You still recording?
Yes.
In the hopes that Sly would be able to sue based on what you record?
Yeah. Bev's here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sly's
That's
got a
very
real
pathetic,
butthurt
Ruhif,
thing
man.
with me, hasn't he? Is it because he's got a bending water level test and he's too butthurt to be able to talk to us about it? Or is there something else, Ruhif? I know you do have a close relationship with him. Do you think you could get a chat with us, and we'll both go over our water level tests, like I've been
The
asking
screen's
him
went black.
to do for ages?
Hold on. Hang on, I'm back. Oh, it stopped recording. There you go. My screen just went black for like 5 seconds. Anyway. Do we want to talk, or do I have to go and do something constructive?
I was asking you, do you think you
came
could
in
get
here because
Sly to come in and have a chat about his water level, bending water level?
I don't even know if
test?
he's on Discord, is he?
He says not.
He's not on Discord. Oh, all right.
No, I don't think so. I don't think he'll come on either, because I don't know. He might just not like the platform, or the fact that we can show our screen and the video, and we can show all the information.
I used to hate Discord. Yeah, it's not bad. I'm bored.
I'll give
Don't
you
make
some
me do something.
excitement.
Jesus.
Tell me, what kind of a man do you think Ruhif would call another man's place of business in order to cause trouble for him?
Are you talking about me emailing, what's it called? 1-800 Democrat or something?
No, I didn't even know you did that. So you did such a thing?
I
didn't even know
emailed
about
the work. Okay, so we had figured out that he had forged stuff. So you know I'm talking about the non-sec case, right? Yeah, are you up with the details of it?
No,
Not really, but the other guys are. Go ahead.
Is this
Okay,
Kyle?
so we had figured. Kyle Curtis, yes. So I'd figured out that he had forged stuff, but there was a couple of documents in there that looked really legit and did have his Charlotte address on them. So I emailed the company saying, "Can I speak to you confidentially about, can you confirm that this document is, legitimate?" And he basically told me to go away. We're not going to do anything without a subpoena. And I was like, fine. That was it. But apparently this company, which is a super PAC, literally has 2 employees, and they employed Kyle for a couple of months to do some website work or something. And they told him, hey, this guy's come and talked to us about this. What's the go? And so Kyle added it to to his document thing. The end.
Wow. I didn't understand that.
Oh, that's it anyway.
That was the end of your involvement in it.
That was the end of me contacting anyone's former work. I'd actually assumed that he didn't work there anymore because it was only for $1,000.
Wow, you really looked into that, right?
Did. I busted him.
Contacted someone's work?
Yeah.
Good job, Rubo.
Thanks.
Wow, I wasn't even trying to fish there, and I caught something. I was talking in general.
There you go. It's public knowledge, SE, so you're all good. What were you talking about then?
No, I was just talking about...
Oh, you're talking about fucking George, right? You talking about George?
That's one of the people that would come to mind, but I was talking in general, what kind of a man would stoop so low as to do that? I'm not talking about you, what you did. I'm talking in general.
But you're talking about George contacting Brian Mullins.
No, he says he's talking in general, not about specifics.
No.
It's you that wants
we're
to
not
talk
going to
about
fucking
specifics.
dick around, right? You're talking about George.
No, he's not.
Okay, he's talking about George. I don't...
What type of man?
I have no issue with what George did. All right, Brian Mullen is a civil engineer. He is responsible for people's safety. If he has no fucking idea what he's doing, yes, report him.
What do you mean if he's no idea what he's doing? What exactly does
Some
that
of the
mean?
shit that he put out, unbelievable. For a fucking engineer.
Like what?
He's supposed to have some grasp
It
of...
sounded pretty sound to me.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not an engineer.
Yeah, but you're a fucking retard, SE.
Wow.
Right, so tell us, since I'm a retard and you're smart, what did you find wrong?
What are the things he did?
He didn't try and measure vertical angles with an auto level, did he?
Conservation of momentum. He didn't understand conservation of momentum. Fucking planes flying on a rotating Earth. That was embarrassing.
Conservation of momentum.
How does
Which
that
part?
how does that affect his job if he's an engineer? How would that endanger people?
It's basic physics. If someone is responsible for public safety and has, a shithouse understanding of physics, when it's his job to understand it, yeah, I'm quite happy with George reporting him for that.
Okay, maybe I should word it a different way. I challenge you to find a group of police officers that every one of them knows exactly what you're talking about when you say conservation of momentum. They're in charge of public safety.
Police officers don't build fucking bridges and buildings.
Okay, so it's not the public safety aspect that's actually the problem, is it? Because they're in charge of public
safety.
safety.
It is the public safety. You drive across bridges and you fucking go into buildings. Holy shit.
There must be something else that's the problem, because if it's just public safety in general, police would need to know it.
Public safety, he builds shit.
That has nothing to do with building. Conservation of momentum says you would tend to stay in a straight line and your path would tend not to deviate once you are in motion. So that has nothing to do with building at all. It's just sophistry.
Does Brian Mullen's job have anything to do with building things that people use?
Nothing to do with
if they fell over.
Conservation of momentum has nothing to do with building. That's motion.
It's basic
stationary
physics.
Structures that are not going anywhere. So what you're saying is irrelevant.
It's basic physics. He needs basic physics to do his job.
Are you
Half
saying
of the
that
stuff
the
you learn in
structure,
school
the
is utterly
structures are?
unapplicable and has nothing to do with your job anyway. This is
That's
just
the way
so
a retard thinks. You can build houses without knowing about the conservation of momentum.
Fine, but it's basic physics.
And
he
it doesn't
needs to
matter.
have a level of education where he understands basic
No, he
physics.
doesn't. He doesn't need to know
Yes,
any
he
of that.
does.
To do
He's a
his job.
fucking engineer. He has to deal
It
with
doesn't matter.
forces all the
He
time.
needs none of that to do his job. Zero.
He
of it.
needs to deal with
Exactly
forces
zero.
all the time.
No, people shouldn't call people's employers for things
Okay,
that
well,
they
hey,
say.
if you can show some sort of a legitimate citation that indicates that his specific job needs that information, then go ahead and show it. But if you can't, then you're talking out your rear end.
He
you
was a
obviously know
civil
what the
engineer.
qualifications are. He has the qualifications, has that job, and yet he doesn't know that according to you, and still keeps his job. So it seems like all the professionals who decide who can become a professional and who can't disagree with you, because he is one, and he doesn't know this thing according to you.
He is a civil engineer. Civil
Yep.
engineers can build bridges, buildings, whatever. Correct?
Yeah.
Right. Part of building bridges and buildings is understanding the forces involved. Correct?
Say that again.
Part of building bridges and buildings is understanding the forces involved. Correct?
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yes, sure.
Yes. So he
Forces
does need to
involved.
know about physics. Thank you.
But he doesn't need to know about the conservation of momentum. You are incorrect.
Yeah, I'm telling you that he needs a basic understanding of
Oh.
physics. If he doesn't understand conservation of momentum,
can I
that
ask
is a
a
problem.
question?
If in your mind, basic understanding of physics includes conservation of momentum, you're wrong.
You're
Yes.
taking
No,
it out of the fact
Yes.
that you shouldn't call
Wow.
people's businesses where they work.
I don't think he actually called the business. I thought he called the licensing board.
Oh, right. Well, that's
even better.
That's even
He is
worse, isn't
correct
it?
in that.
Wow.
He is correct in that. Yeah, he claimed that he called the licensing board. Let's be upfront. Yeah,
Well,
but
did-
still,
didn't
I have
George
no
say
issue
he
with that.
do you think
didn't?
they're gonna call his place of work after Ruhif?
Hasn't George's latest one is to say that he didn't
Yeah.
do that?
It's as retarded as saying you need to know calculus to do construction
So-
because it involves numbers.
Is
Only
Ruhif
a
saying
retard
that
would think like
George
that.
did do
I would
that
put
now then?
calculus at a slightly higher level.
Ruhif, are you saying that it was George that did that? He called the licensing board.
Didn't he do that? I thought-
I don't know. Like,
yeah,
you
that-
just said he did.
Yeah, Ben,
Yeah, I'm
you
not
just
George.
revealed that. Yeah, that's what I was just going to ask because it sounds like Ruhif knows and is actually revealing this. Maybe between George and him, he's told him because George publicly has been saying that he did not do that.
Yeah.
He's
Oh,
been.
there you go.
Yeah,
I'm not in a position
No,
to
you
know.
just said he did. You were
Just
the one that
revealed
said
it,
he
dude.
did.
just
I'm
exposed
telling
it.
you, I'm not in a position to know.
You,
I'm
You
just
already
going off
know. You
whatever
already
else
just
says.
said it. You
it.
said it a
Oh,
minute ago.
Jesus.
That you had knowledge of it.
No, I didn't.
So, in other words, you'll just say whatever you think is the truth, whether you really know it or not. And if you get caught out,
shut the
then
fuck
you'll
up, Paige.
backtrack.
Page muted.
Well,
Fine.
thanks, Ruhif. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, it seems like the intelligent, logical people here understand that you're being a moron.
I was under the impression that he called the licensing board. If he says he didn't, fine.
I was under the same impression. You know why? Because I heard
Okay.
him say
Did you get inside information from George?
No, I heard him say
No.
it.
Okay. I'm
He said
going
it
off that as well.
Oh, okay.
I'm
Wait,
going
wait,
off that as well.
Go ahead, SC.
I heard George say that he called the license himself.
Okay.
I think it was on Jose's. I'm not slandering the man. If I'm mistaken, I apologize. But I'm almost 99.9% sure I heard George say it himself.
Okay, fine. That's the kind of public knowledge that I'm going off. I've never seen him say it, but I heard that's what people said.
Yeah.
Good.
Yep.
Well,
And I have no issue if he did it with what he did.
Oh,
Because
you're an
Brian
engineer.
Mullen is
Obviously.
a fucking moron.
yeah, obviously. You. That's your opinion. We understand that.
Coming from a guy that says definitions don't have meanings, now he's got a moral upstanding.
I can't even make the connection there. What was that?
Don't tell him again.
You said that definitions don't have meanings, and now you want to take a moral upstanding on whose employer to call based on.
I am not getting the link between that and morality. I don't get it.
Oh, he forgot.
Yeah.
Good
I
job.
think there have been different things that have been said over the years about what really happened with that with George and whether he called the licensing board, whether he called the employer, whether he called both. So yeah, there's been various things, and I think George has tried to cover up the tracks in various ways. So yeah, I have heard him say that he did call the licensing board, but then he also has denied that he called his employer. So yeah, I don't know. What really happened, I guess, is
That was my understanding as well.
Yeah, it wasn't years ago that Ruhef is a couple months.
Okay.
He has been accused of
So you
calling
cool
the
with that?
boss, right? Calling the guy's boss. Then he came out and he
I've
said,
always
"Look,
thought
I
it was
didn't
the
call the
licensing
guy's
board."
boss. I didn't call the guy's boss. I called the bureau." That's what he
Okay,
said.
That's what I thought as well.
Yeah, but by doing that, obviously that's going to put the guy's livelihood in jeopardy and possibly his family, his children. So that's virtually the same thing. I mean, to think that you're just going to call the licensing board and report this guy and then think that it's not going to affect his life is
If a civil engineer cannot
Exactly.
understand basic physics, that is a
Dude,
problem.
Is
It's
that
not
what
basic
George
physics.
said? Is that honestly what
Conservation
George
of
said?
momentum is basic physics.
No, it's not. That's garbage. It's
Oh,
pseudoscience
Jesus.
garbage. That's the pseudoscience that they use to push the entire globe model. And Brian Mullen was
Oh,
exposing
Jesus.
how that's false.
Yeah.
Like, for example, when you get on an
Except in the
airplane,
real
let,
world.
let me ask you this, Ruhif. When you get on an airplane, right, it takes off, you're going 500 miles an hour, 30,000 feet up in the air, you're just chilling. Is the seat that you're sitting on, the chair, is there a force that's continually pushing you through the air?
No.
There is. And it's measurable.
The seat is moving at 500 miles per hour. You are moving at 500 miles per hour.
But it has to keep you moving at 500, which means there has to be
What is slowing you down inside the aircraft?
the fact that you wouldn't be moving through the air at 500 miles an hour if the plane didn't keep pushing you through the air at 500 miles an
No,
hour.
the
It has
plane
to
is going
keep
at
pushing
constant
you.
velocity.
Right, but
Right?
you have to
Okay.
continually, your body has to continually to be propelled through the
No, you're
environment.
inside the aircraft. The aircraft has to push through the air. But you inside the aircraft, the seat and you are both moving at 500 miles per hour.
Magically. Nothing to do with the engines of the plane propelling you.
If any of you
Just
guys
happen to
were
be
civil
sitting in the
engineers, I
plane.
would report you as well.
You do realize how ridiculous you sound, bro.
Well, what Brian Mullen
Coming
was
from
doing,
USA.
I don't really feel like getting into a whole deep discussion of that, although we could at some point. I have to go run some errands pretty shortly, so I don't want to get into a whole long thing. But
Yeah,
I mean, Brian
yeah,
Mullen in his videos was just essentially exposing the heliocentric pseudoscience, the pseudophysics
No,
of
he was being an
heliocentrism.
Idiot. Just like all the flat earthers just can't understand basic physics.
That's why they shut him down, bro.
No, we're denying the
Shut himself down, didn't
we're
he?
denying the pseudophysics that you're peddling.
Didn't he shut himself down?
Yeah, in a sense, he did shut himself down. Yes.
Yeah. All right.
I'm not sure
Is he
people know.
still
I don't
gainfully
think
employed?
people know exactly what happened. I mean, he took down his videos and kind of disappeared from YouTube. I mean, did he get fired from his job? I don't know the whole story of what happened, but it seems like there was something happened.
No, he did not get fired, apparently.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know.
But that's not the point. The point is that a man saw fit to call another man's, not place of employment, but a place that would affect his employment. That is low life.
I have no issue with what George did. The guy's in charge of public safety.
Sounds a bit
He needs to know
bigoted
what
to
he's
me.
doing. Say again?
Sounds a bit bigoted to me.
How so?
You're just sort of pointing a finger at somebody and saying you don't deserve to have that job.
If he doesn't understand basic physics, correct, he does not deserve to have that job.
According
He's a
to
civil
you,
engineer, correct?
According to you.
Well, I think the licensing
what-
board
what
would
has he
agree.
built that
You
was
and
wrong?
George.
Have you got anything that he's actually done that's not up to scratch? Because otherwise you're just throwing shit at a wall and hoping it'll stick, and it's pathetic.
Yeah, and why isn't he allowed to make YouTube videos on whatever he wants? I mean, if he did a poor job at building something, maybe he would be fired, or that piece of equipment would fail, or whatever. That's one thing.
Exactly.
And people die, Gio. People die when equipment fails.
Has that happened? Has any of that happened? No. So he's been working this job for however many years. They thought fit to give him that job because he did everything he needed to do. And now because you have a belief in a fucking ball earth, you're going to try and ruin somebody's life because you don't think he knows enough about his job.
Page speaking.
But you've got nothing, do you? Nothing he's done wrong?
Hang on.
Yeah, I mean, Ruhif, there's like medical doctors who do their job, they give the drugs, they do whatever, but on their free time, they might research, other things like natural healings or other things. It doesn't mean that they're a terrible doctor. I mean, those systems, I think they're toxic, and the authorities that are set up in those can be problematic in the first place. But people can have different parts of their lives where they may have different interests. And if they're doing a poor job, their boss or whoever is part of that, whoever's hiring them to do whatever they're doing will fire them, or the equipment won't match up to par. But just because he has viewpoints that he wanted to share on YouTube is absurd that people are, that you guys were trying to do that to him. It's just symbolically reflective of your behavior, meaning that instead of actually holding to truth and knowledge, you go for these manipulative attacks over people's livelihoods.
I think doctors that put out misinformation as well, that puts other people's health in danger, should be fired as well, or reprimanded in some way.
Ruth, how many people die from medical malpractice from these doctors doing what they were taught to do? Like, really?
I can see you light up, Paige. I can see you light up.
What's that supposed to mean?
It'll mean he's got you muted.
Yeah, I turned it down.
Oh, he's such a
She came in
coward.
pretty
He won't even listen to what I'm saying. Right, I get it.
Mommy issues,
She's
Ruhif?
calling you a coward, Ruhif.
That's fine. That's fine.
You have mommy issues, Ruhif?
Something like that, yes.
Must
That's between
have.
me and my therapist, actually.
Big time.
Forgot my usual slogan.
I love strong women.
Yeah.
Yeah, I found that
Shout out Paige.
the Aussie guys sort of fear a
Oh,
strong
we love
woman.
you too, SC.
You reckon?
As you always seem to. George is the same. Goes off his head with him when Paige is around.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is that obviously this Brian Mullen thing happened quite a while ago. It's a thing of the past.
It's pretty
History.
relevant. No, it's relevant at the minute because there's this doxing thing going on at the minute and the frauds and all of that sort of stuff. And I'm assuming that in order to be able to do that, they would have needed to dox him first to be able to call the state.
No, I agree. I mean, the
It's
next
not
thing I was going to say that it is history, but I also was going to say, but it also is representative of something very real going on in the world in terms of like these authorities, the way that they manipulate people through, money, and the way that these systems are set up. And like Bev just said, yeah, the doxing, the kind of approaches that you guys take. Like, instead of just speaking what you think is truth or doing what you're doing, you use these kinds of techniques. It really is revealing of your character.
Thanks. Kumbaya, Gio.
Well said, brother. Very well said.
Mm-hmm. He's right, isn't he, Ruhif?
I honestly don't take much of what Gio says about my character to heart.
Yeah, but
Nor
pretty
any of
shitty
you guys,
tactics,
really.
right?
Say again?
It's pretty shitty tactics.
I have no issue with what George did.
Or the doxing.
No issue at all. I don't like doxing. Who doxed who?
How did George manage to do what he did? Did he
You can fucking Google Brian Mullen's his fucking license. That's not doxing. Doxing is putting his public. Brian Mullen's fucking YouTube channel was called Brian Mullen.
Mm-hmm.
It's not doxing. Looking up his license or whatever.
Not? You reckon?
It's not doxing. Looking up his license.
Is that not? Would these docs not be recorded on that license?
You can do whatever you like. You can fucking hire private investigators to investigate anyone you like. That's not doxing unless you make it public. Doxing is the public
but that
release
would
of
be considered
information.
harassment.
Looking up someone's license
you
on a
can't
website
just
is
go
not
after
doxing.
anybody you want. That's harassment. It's literally against the law.
You're phoning the employer up and
Speaking
saying,
of someone that doxed themselves, Bev, that's pretty funny.
sorry?
You doxed yourself that day with the with your
Dox
surveying certificate.
yourself, Ruhif.
Yeah, I know.
You dickhead. Well, what are you talking about?
That was pretty funny. You published your own information, so whatever.
I put my name out there, yeah?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, brilliant.
Yeah.
Right, it got took down, didn't it?
Yeah, I know, but then it's the
Yeah,
horse is bolted.
people have already copied that photo and they keep pushing it out all over the place, don't they?
Yeah.
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 It's hilarious.
Instead of doing the right thing and not putting it out anymore when you took it down.
Yeah, it's no big deal. It's a name.
Yeah, I
Right?
know.
Yeah.
Everyone knows my name. That's fine.
Yeah. You put it out there. You give it to everybody. In fact, that was the first
'Cause I
thing
don't
you
care.
told me to do. Whenever it was like, who are you? You went, oh, go and look me up.
Hey.
Yeah. That's fine. But what was it that George said when he called that employer up? What was it that
The
he
board.
said?
I assume he said something like, "This guy has no idea about physics. How is he a civil engineer?"
He's like,
That's what I would say.
this guy has no idea about physics.
Yeah.
Right, you think that's good enough?
Don't want to repeat myself, but if a guy is in charge of public safety, he needs a basic understanding of physics, and he has demonstrated that he does not.
What about if we were to talk about straight lines?
Jesus, that might be a sign for me to go.
I'd get out as quick as you could.
Good idea.
That's the third one running away from a straight line question today. What is
I'll
it
give
so
you
scary?
Okay. I'll give you 5
It's
minutes.
not like
Bev,
it's
and then I'll go
physics or
shopping.
anything, is it?
I'll give you 5 minutes.
Sound like we're talking about hydrostatic.
Straight lines then, Ruhif.
Yep, straight lines.
Do they curve or are they straight? Is there a
Well, it
difference
depends.
between a straight line and a curve?
If we have a geodesic on a sphere, under some people's definitions, that could be a straight line, but in a Euclidean environment, that's a curve. So what are we talking about? Are we talking about
We're talking
Euclidean
about a straight
lines?
line. Your definition of
In
a straight
Euclidean
line.
space?
No, just
In Euclidean space?
yeah, in reality, a straight line.
In Euclidean space?
Yes, in
Okay.
reality.
Well, there are
Objective-
differing opinions on whether our
objective-
reality is Euclidean.
Objective reality
roughly
is
approximates
a
Euclidean.
straight line the same as a curve, or are they
In
separated?
Euclidean space, no, they're different.
Right. So in reality,
So this is just going to be some bullshit where you're going to try and equivocate on definitions here, isn't it?
well, we know, everybody else knows in this room, that we live in Euclidean 3 space. So I'm taking
Well,
you're
it's
saying
approximately
that straight
Euclidean,
line.
yes, approximately.
It is Euclidean 3 space because that's how we describe it.
Under Einstein's definition of gravity, no, it's not. So, yeah.
Right. Well, that's
Does Einstein account for physics?
yeah.
Does Einstein account for physics?
Yeah, and then in the whole Einsteinian, all that stuff, does it account for physics?
Does he account for? I don't even know what that question means, to be honest. It's pretty retarded.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
Relative geometrically. We live in Euclidean 3 space, so therefore a straight line
Well,
is
Einstein says we
separated.
don't, so-
It is different. You know, have you heard of a tangent?
I have heard of a tangent.
Do you know
yes.
what that is?
A line that touches a circle at one point.
A straight line?
Yes,
And the circle is a curve line.
it's a circle.
Right,
It's one big curve. Yep, sure.
So can a tangent be a circle?
No.
Okay.
Not in Euclidean space.
Because
no.
it's a straight line.
So we're talking all Euclidean, right?
We're talking about just in reality, right? A tangent is a
Okay,
straight
so
line.
I'll assume that we're just talking Euclidean.
You can assume whatever you want. And we're talking about reality and a straight line. This is the problem for you.
So we've got a tangent and a circle. Keep going.
Got a straight line. Now that straight line does not curve at all in any direction, does it?
Well, we're only talking 2 dimensions, right? Because we're talking about circles.
No, we're talking about a straight line.
Right. In 2 dimensions, because we're also talking about circles.
Okay.
Okay.
But
Yep,
we're talking
continue.
about
We've got 2 minutes left, by the
we're
way.
talking about reality. So we're not talking about 2D, are we? We're talking about 3D.
So
Euclidean
do
3
circles
space.
exist in 3 dimensions?
What we're talking about a straight line. You're getting struggles now.
No,
with
we
a
were
curve.
talking about circles, Bev.
No, we were talking about a straight line, Ruhif.
Yeah, we talked about a tangent to a circle. Circles exist in 2 dimensions.
Well, a circle is definitely not a straight line. That's the point we were making.
I
There's
agree.
a difference. Straight lines
agree.
are different. Right now, a horizontal, is that a straight line?
Yes,
It's definitely not a circle, is it?
I agree.
Okay. That's good. Now, is level horizontal? Same thing.
Well, and if we are talking now about going out into reality, and we have an auto level will give you a horizontal plane. A water level will not. It is not a tool for making a horizontal.
So there's a you think there's a difference, but there is definitely
Well,
a
I
thing.
think the context, Bev,
known
I
as
think
a
the
horizontal
context of the
plane.
word level is important.
Well, the horizontal plane will do for starters.
Okay, horizontal plane. How far does a horizontal plane extend?
Well, it being a plane, a mathematic
Mm-hmm.
figure, then indefinitely, right? A plane.
Excellent. A horizontal plane extends infinitely. Thank you.
That's good. And
Yep.
it's straight line.
Good, we agree.
All the straight lines are on the horizontal plane, aren't they?
All straight lines on the horizontal plane? No. You can have a straight line that's at any angle you like.
On the horizontal plane, there is all of the horizontal straight lines contained on that plane. I'm just getting you to confirm that a 2-dimensional plane doesn't curve. There's no curved lines, is there?
I agree. A horizontal plane does not curve.
Brilliant. Any plane doesn't curve either, does it?
Correct, yeah.
And that's 2D.
Yes.
Final one. Surface of
All
a
right,
sphere.
and I'll go shopping.
Are you off?
Oh, I will. When this is your final question, right? So then I'll go shopping.
Surface of a sphere. That's a 3-dimensional surface, right?
No. Surfaces are 2-dimensional.
But that's a plane. You've just said that.
No, planes are 2-dimensional, so are surfaces.
But the surface of a
What do
sphere
you
is
measure the
3-dimensional.
area? What do you measure the area of a surface in? What units?
The mathematical unit.
Fucking any measurement, whatever. What unit do you measure area in?
It's a geometrical unit, that, isn't it?
Yeah, any unit.
A square.
Tell me the units that you use.
A square.
Square.
Yeah. Length times breadth. And
Yep.
because it's a
Which
square,
is
it's a same
meters what? Meters what?
square. It's
Squared.
a square.
Excellent.
Yes.
How many dimensions is it?
2-dimensional.
2. Thank you. The area
No,
of a
square
sphere
is a 2-dimensional
is
shape.
2-dimensional.
Yes. A square is a 2-dimensional shape. Now,
What is the
a
surface
sphere
area
is
measured
not
in?
a 2-dimensional shape.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
The sphere is 3-dimensional. The surface is 2-dimensional. How many coordinates do I need to give you to find any place on Earth on the surface?
I don't know. Where are you going to give me
2.
coordinates to?
Anywhere. How many coordinates do I need to give you to find any spot on the surface of the Earth?
2, because it's a
2.
yeah.
How many
2-dimensional.
dimensions is the surface of a sphere?
Well, if you can't delineate between a straight and a curved line, how can you come up with a defined coordinate system?
Again, you might be up there with SC Montreal in terms of retardedness because I do not understand your question.
No, well, you're getting confused between 2D and 3D. We understand that.
I really don't think so, Bev.
Yeah, you do. Because
In fact, isn't there a screenshot of yours floating around that WS posts? The surface of a sphere is 2D, something like that?
I haven't posted that. Why would I say that?
I'm sure there's a screenshot.
Surface of a sphere
When you
is
say the surface is 2D.
three-dimensional, Rufus.
A sphere, the object, is 3-dimensional. The surface is 2-dimensional.
It's actually just 4 pi r squared, like your man said earlier. That's 4 circles, and a circle is 2-dimensional. Weird,
They're
that,
just
isn't it?
common units, Bev. It's an area measurement.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
units are something squared.
It's a calculation to work out the area. Yeah.
Fine. Correct.
Yeah, but a
Well done.
sphere is a 3-dimensional shape. I mean, like, really weird
Correct.
that you think
Well
it's
done.
2-dimensional.
Do you think you can calculate the surface area of a cube?
Well, I know I can. That's a bit of a
Okay.
stupid question.
Do you think you can calculate the surface area of a cone?
Yeah, they're all developable
Do you think you
surfaces.
can calculate the surface area of a sphere?
Yeah.
Excellent. What dimensions are they in?
A sphere is a 3-dimensional
No.
Euclidean
What
shape.
dimensions are the area?
Ruhif,
What
stop
dimensions
with
are the
your
area?
retarded questioning like this.
You
Everybody
keep
knows.
saying it's a 3-dimensional surface.
It
Yet
is.
the units
A
that you
sphere
measure it
is,
in.
obviously.
Oh, Bev, you know that you're bullshitting, right? Every time I say it's 2-dimensional, you say a sphere is 3-dimensional, and I go,
is.
yes, a sphere is 3-dimensional,
Yeah.
but the surface is 2-dimensional.
No, the surface is the bit of the
I've said it
sphere
3
that
times
you
now, Bev.
see. It's 3-dimensional. How can you look at a sphere,
A sphere
and say
is
that's
3-dimensional.
3-dimensional, but the surface that I'm looking at to tell that that sphere is 3-dimensional is 2-dimensional? It's got to be stupid,
A
that, Ruhif.
sphere is 3-dimensional. The surface of a sphere is 2-dimensional. You've been told this a dozen times, Bev.
I know.
You know that you
But
have.
you're wrong.
And again, I ask, what units do you use
Oh,
to measure the
stop
surface
it.
area? In fact, we're not going to go around in
That's
circles.
just
I'm
to
going to
measure
go.
the surface area.
Hold
it's
on,
not
before
a
you go,
2-dimensional
Hey.
fucking
SE?
surface.
Before you go, moron, can you hand
Okay,
me a
Richard.
2-dimensional object, please?
No, I can't.
You moron. All right, you can go now.
All right, see ya, see. Gotcha.
See you
Later.
later. Well, we didn't get much of the satellite stuff, did we?
No.
And that 2D, 3D sphere is good, but at least Ruhif knows what a straight line is. Oh, that one. I was surprised by that. He's the first one in the test. There's
Bit of an
actually,
anomaly.
yeah. Not too sure about that. Oh, what's Naps talking about me about? Or something, I did something.
Well, he knew what a straight line was until you placed it on the sphere.
They say crazy things like at a point, you know. And if you want to define something at a point, the point has no that which has no parts. So I don't know how they can come up with coordinate systems based on a point.
But the way I see it is they've got a whole argument based around it's 2D. So the surface of a sphere has to be 2D because the whole basis of their coordinate system being 2-dimensional. I don't know, like in the UK, we've got grid coordinates.
Right.
So that's why it's 2D, right? And the fact that you can't have a 2-dimensional surface on a sphere, it's a non-developable surface, sort of tells me that, I don't know, I'd say that doesn't really work.
You know, another
so.
thing.
Go on.
When you were saying, when they were saying that, when he was saying that you can, all you need is 2 coordinates on a sphere for a location. But let me ask a silly question. How about if there's a mountain and you're on a mountain on that sphere?
That's what I asked. That don't work.
Well, they've got to have a fix first. Otherwise, it's just a sphere. It's a ball rolling around. 2 dimensions would be no good at all. First off, you have to fix it around an axis. Then you can play with it. So there is another coordinate that they're just completely forgetting if they want to play
Exactly.
ball. But
Yeah.
you just go with the two-dimensional coordinate system. Everybody knows what 2D is. Fucking flat surface.
Travis's question was pretty pertinent at this point.
What was that?
Oh, DP made a meme of it. If they think a sphere is, can you have 1 point closer to you than another?
Yeah, from a 2D surface. And then can you... Yeah.
If they think a sphere is 2D, well, how can you have 2 points on that surface that are one's further away than the other?
Which is what must happen with a surface of constant curvature.
Then you get into crazy stuff like how can you have a horizontal? How can you create a coordinate system? You know, they want to tout those Cartesian coordinate systems with X, Y, and Z.
It's a sort of paradox, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is, because Ruhif went with the horizontal being a straight line, a plane. Well, that has problems. And then people that have encountered that problem then have the horizontal bending. Let's just have the horizontal being there. Like, we all know that level has to be curved to go round a ball. So why not go to whole hog and say that horizontal is as well?
Well, what would you
what's
say
needed.
your horizontal? What would you say your horizontal coordinate is? That'd be your X coordinate, right? Well, X and Y, I guess.
It's X and Y. They're your two coordinates, aren't they? The Z is the elevation marker, which is done by contour lines.
But okay, so if it's always curving away from you always, then how would you ever have a consistent coordinate system?
It can't be curving away from you because you can't have water.
Yeah.
Water doesn't do that.
Did we find another paradox in their 2D coordinate system? Oops, mountains.
Well, that's the Z-axis, right? They have reality. They do have those two coordinates that we have in reality. And they do have the Z-axis in reality as well. They just imagine it goes on a ball when. But in order to do that, they have to imagine that the surface of the ball is 2D. Cannot be 3D.
Yeah, we have.
Okay, so you have to have.
We have a mountain paradox. Sorry, Buster, I had to get that one out.
No, see, but you have to have certain parameters, right? Set for coordinate systems, wouldn't you?
You have to live in reality, don't you? You know, like you can't get out of that.
You can't do it in 2D, Buster. That's the whole point.
No, I'm saying you'd have to have certain parameters, right? You have to be objective. I mean, it'd be.
Yeah, for sure, yeah.
Well, it seems to me like what they're describing is a parameterization independent.
They're putting
localized
2D.
That's what I'm saying. They always say at a point, so that would be like throwing the parameters out the door.
Yeah.
Just so they can have their cake and eat it too.
So you can imagine wherever you are, it does appear as though you're on a plane. You're on that tangential plane or whatever. It's like Bob said the other day, everybody's at the top of their own sphere. And when they're on the top of their own sphere, they'll be walking on a nice tangential plane on the top of that sphere.
So that's the relativism.
Yeah.
Exactly.
If everybody's at the top for their own self, the parameters change for each and every person. It's just
Nobody's on the bottom. Nobody's on the side. Yep. Everybody's on top. And they're freaking... It's unbelievable.
Maybe this will be a good point for NASA Rocks. He could maybe explain it to us.
Yeah.
No, never.
Maybe that tells how that GPS surveying works. Anybody got an idea on that? Other than using ground-based towers for triangulation and then working to a preset map for the point. Other than that.
Using first order measurements to make
establish those new points.
Yeah.
You'll always your GPS. You'll be able to go blip blip, and it'll let you know where you are. Then reference it to the map. Then you get the proper guys to come in with the first order measurements, and they'd have to go and find the closest first order benchmark, and then transpose that over to the site, and then that would become a new GPS marker, right, for the land in that area.
Yeah,
and just increasingly get more and more accurate. That's what I'd think anyway, but other people might have other ideas.
One of you people, because I mean, come on, you guys think of the same thing.
This guy wouldn't be bigoted to just anybody, right?
You just say it's not bigoted. It's not. This is not bigoted. If you turn it bigoted, then you're bigoted. It wasn't bigoted at all. So I wasn't talking about race. Well, I guess bigoted doesn't have to be with race. I guess it's just okay. Stupid. Okay, yeah, sure. I'm bigoted against idiots.
Wow.
It must be a lot of Google going on.
I see. I'm just looking there. Naps. You've got you've got that wrong, right? Although Conspiracy Cats is doing the same. That's for charity. I mean, if I'm helping the guy sell the pictures for the charity and he's doing well for the cancer charity, then I mean I'll take it. But I mean that isn't my picture. That's a guy called Astro Cookbook.
Again, we know that that's not your picture and you didn't take it. I know that. How many times do I have to say that?
So what's the thanks Bev for then? What's
calling it fake? So
what's the point in the thanks Bev? Naps.
You said the. Are you listening? Are you listening? You said the photo in itself, the original one, is fake.
That photo that you've put thanks Bev on, that
the original photo, Bev. Are you fucking kidding me? The original photo.
That is the original photo. Now
Bev on it?
It's not mine.
Not that one. I'm talking about the original one.
That's not
without
Bev's.
the words on it and stuff.
Yeah, the one without the words on it that looks like that is the original, and it is not mine. Somebody has put thanks Bev on the original photo that is not mine, that is up for sale in a gallery for charity. That's not my picture.
Slow? Are you slow or are you doing this on purpose?
I thought your son took that picture.
No, that is Kevin Jackson's picture that Ranty found on Facebook, not my son's picture. That is the picture that Ranty stared at for 200 hours that he then gave to Cats. Cats then made a video about it because that is the picture that Ranty couldn't understand. Then we went and took a picture.
He understood it. He's just like, man, I've done so many videos like this or so many pictures of this. I can't believe I'm choosing this one to decide to change on, but whatever.
No, he didn't. He found it on He found it on Facebook. He hasn't even been there to take a picture himself.
Cheers.
Hey, Nappy, it's been a while. I remember the first night I was driving to Ocala, like a long distance. I heard you for the first time. You're part of the group now.
Who cares?
Anyway.
You put Thanks Bev on a picture that's not his picture.
That's not the point. Oh my
Yes,
God.
it is. He's like, why did you put
Oh
Thanks
my
Bev
God.
on it?
No, Bev. No. I know it's not your fucking photo.
Right, well, why
I
did you
know
put Thanks
that.
Bev on it?
I know that. Are you retarded? Like, are you really retarded right
Why
now?
did you put Thanks Bev on it?
I was talking about the original photo. I didn't have the original one. so I
That
had to put
is
that
the
one.
original.
That is the original.
The one without the words, Bev. The one without the words. The one on the website.
Yeah, that's that picture. With the words on it.
Yes, and you said it's fucking fake.
Well, why are the words on it? What's that got to do with it? Why are you thanking me for
Stop
some
being
other guy's
stupid.
picture?
Stop. You look dumb right now.
Why?
You look dumb.
Why? Why is the Thanks Bev on that picture? Why have you posted it, Snaps?
Not dumb and begging the question was made up.
Like,
Nobody's
ever-
dumber than that.
oh my
Would you ever
God,
put
Paige,
somebody's
shut the
pic-
fuck up with your mud fossil believing ass.
Would you
That
ever
was so
put
funny,
somebody's
Anthony. I'm
name
gonna
on a
give
You're like
picture that
the
somebody
dumbest
else
fucking
took?
person here.
He
You're the
fucking
dumbest person
tore
here.
you apart. It was
Out of
hilarious.
everyone,
You got begging
you're the most
question was
gullible,
made up.
stupidest fucking person on here. You're a
Right,
joke.
you've just demonstrated that to a live
Out of
audience. in front of
everyone, you're the
hundreds of
joke.
people.
You're the joke,
You
Paige.
poor thing.
You're the joke.
Can we get to the reason why it's got Thanks Bev on it?
I don't care about that part. I care about you calling it fake.
Did I call it fake? It's definitely a picture. Isn't it? It's just been airbrushed. It's been touched
now
up.
it's a picture, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Oh.
Right,
Okay.
what do you think? So
Oh my
why's
God, this chick is delusional.
why's Thanks Bev on it?
Now it's real.
No, it's been touched up. Have you ever seen Blackpool? Have you ever been there to see what Blackpool looks like at sunset?
Have I what?
Have you ever been there to see Blackpool and what Blackpool looks like just
No.
before sunset? No,
No.
it doesn't look like that.
Why?
Why? Because the sun is coming all across that front. Look at how much sun there is on the mountains in the background.
Oh,
The sun's coming over the front of everything at one part of the day.
it looks just like their photo.
That's a early morning Blackpool.
Same.
And the mountains are before sunset. Late evening. As you can tell by the shadows. And where the sun sets. If you've ever been there, you'd see that. That's the front of Lytham St Anne's and Blackpool, and all of them houses have little sparkles coming from the windows, and it's all lit up. It's lovely. Looks nice.
Sure, I
Mhm.
bet. Looks nice.
Yeah. It's almost like it could be a composite, couldn't it?
No.
Has anyone put it through photo forensics or anything?
It looks exactly like
I
photos
know.
you've
We know
taken.
Ranty stared at it for 200 hours, and we know Katz has made a video
They
about
look
it, and then Ranty and Ruhif and Katz have all got together and made a big hoo-ha about it, and we know that people are saying
your picture,
thanks
this
Bev
picture
for
looks
it.
It looks the same though.
It doesn't look the same. Well, that one's up in a gallery.
The only
There's
difference
people making
is-
money from that one.
the only difference is theirs is taken by like a professional camera. Yours look like it was done by like a cell phone.
It's my lad with a P1000. Yeah.
Was it taken that way?
Pardon?
Oh.
We've took loads of pictures
they
from
both
there.
look exact-
We took
Pretty
loads
sure
of
the
pictures.
camera the guy used wasn't much. I think it was the same price range as the P1000.
Could be.
Could be. So you've looked into it, have you?
But they look the same.
Could be. She doesn't know a fucking
Like
thing.
your photo and that one looks the same.
My lad's photo and that one. Have you seen it? Where is my lad's photo? To compare them, the two.
The Library of Congress.
I have this one. The chicken nugget one
All right.
looks the same, just a little like foggy. So like, the
Don't see the
different,
mountains.
Wow.
right? Because it looks foggy or whatever.
Yeah.
But same thing.
But not like a composite, as though the mountains look like they're lit differently than the Blackpool.
Like a photo taken from a camera. Yeah.
Yeah, angular nug size we were checking there, right?
Where are you guys at? What room? General? No.
Yeah, it's in general. It's nice to know that you're saving all of these photos of us, Snaps. How many have you got? You got a few
Just
gifs
those.
and the photos. That's nice.
Those two.
So what's that to say then? What do you think that photo there proves?
They both look the same. So
well, you see, I'd say that photo there proves that wasn't the position that the guy was taking the photo from. Although it is on the Velvet Trail, that one would be one of the ones where we were trying to find out where exactly he was.
Where's that at? Is that what? That's the same area. Just it's cloudy that day or foggy. Is that what it is?
It's misty.
What's the difference between mist and fog?
Well,
that starts with an M, one starts with an F.
That's caused
Mist is
by
more watery.
heat.
There actually is a difference.
Mist is more watery. Fog is more like a vapor with less moisture.
God, I just found a bag of dildos. Shit.
Where is Bev's lad's original picture? Why is it the Nug picture?
Metaphor too.
yeah, I don't have that one.
Oh.
Odd.
That's really weird, that, isn't it?
Post it.
I haven't got it. I only posted it one day because I showed Ranty that that's not how Blackpool looks at that time of night. That's what I took a picture of.
You don't have your own photos of what you took?
Well, it's not important. Right, it was to show that the lighting across Blackpool and Lytham St Anne's was not as shown at that time of night.
Post your photo.
We need a drone. We need a drone to rise above the Blackpool Tower.
You'd only we've already done that, Lemon. But
I saw something that what's his name, Mr. Brian Mabbitt did, but I didn't see any sort of landmarks in that photo. You say there's a drone that
have you seen how far away it is? Seen how far away it is? It's miles away. You're never going to see anything from that position. If you want a drone to go up over Blackpool Tower, get Ranty with his drone. He should be able to do it dead easy. He lives right close to Blackpool Tower. Get him to get his drone out.
As Ranty was trying to say, Blackpool Tower is above the mountain in the background, but if you get a drone above Blackpool Tower, that relationship would probably reverse.
Yeah, maybe it's already been done. Maybe you can do it from a different position. Maybe Ranty knows all of this sort of stuff, and that's why he's not talking to anybody about any of it. Maybe that's why Katz is also keeping him safe, keeping Ranty out of the way.
I think he's just tired. He strikes me as a normie who just doesn't want the hassle. the hassle of the truth and the ostracization that the truth can bring. He always struck me as a normie that really wasn't in it for any of this other extra stuff.
Who's a normie?
Ramsey.
Now you're saying that he doesn't believe what you believe. That's kind of.
No, I always thought him as like a troll. I still think he is. I think he's just going to keep out the way because he
I think
can't.
you guys were saying.
He can't argue this case that he's brought across with a picture from Facebook. He doesn't know what he's unleashed.
Well, Naps, I do
Being
agree with
honest.
you somewhat. I
think
do
he
agree
does
with
know.
what Naps dear, but the thing is, even during his interviews, it was like he was just going along for it. He really wasn't an active participant. He didn't really seem very enthusiastic. It was just kind of like he was kind of off to the side. It didn't really feel like he was really in it to win it. But I don't know.
It's because he doesn't know how to defend the argument he's brought.
He was definitely hardcore. Like
Really? He was like way into it. It looked like when he was beating
He
the shit
really
out of
was.
Brian's logic, he was killing Brian's logic.
he
He was
definitely.
into that shit. He destroyed Brian's logic too. Brian, he's dumb. Why are there so many dumb people on your guys' side?
What side's that?
There's a lot of smart people too, but they're smart enough to know that they're
Is there?
going to be getting hell.
Seems like
For
he'd be
going
one of the
Okay.
ones that
All the
says
smart
blue
people. All the smart people seem to be the people that are conning dumb people.
Who's
Nathan Williams.
That's
you
right,
people?
thinking, Nutbite, all of the flat
You're
earthers.
smart, man.
They're smart people.
Why are you
Might
doing
have
this?
a bigot in
Why are you
here.
doing this? You're smart.
I don't know. I've never said you people to anybody.
I say you people all the time because you people.
I'm racist.
There might be people in here who would take offense to you saying you people.
That's fine. Yeah, dumb. If you're dumb, I mean it'd be dumb people. You people isn't dumb.
So you could say you people to anybody and nobody would take offense to that?
If we were talking in the context of intelligence, then yes. But if I was sitting here talking in the topic of color or something, then yes, that would be offensive. And I probably wouldn't have said it. But I'm in here to talk shit to dumb people, so it's fine.
You're not
I'm dumb too.
an intelligence bigot, are you?
Wow.
I'm totally an intelligence bigot.
Right.
I'm stupid too,
So you
though.
could just say you people, and then somebody would know what you people you were talking to.
If I'm in a room and we're talking about intelligence and I specify as intelligence and then go from there, then yes. If you think I'm talking about color, then you are one of the people that I'm talking about that is stupid.
Right. So can I just identify as not one of you people? Right.
Yes, you
that's
can be a
as
bot.
easy
You can
as
be
it
a-
is, right. Okay.
Sure, you'd be a.
So
whatever we
anybody
call
that
it, like
doesn't
a
want to
wheel or
listen
like
to this
something.
guy when he says you people, just don't be one of you people. That's easy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just don't
that's
be,
one of us
don't be
people.
one of you people.
One of you people. Because I mean, come on, you guys think of the same thing.
This guy
You just say
wouldn't
you
be
people.
bigoted
You
to
say
just
clothes.
anybody, right?
You
Right.
just say it's not bigoted. It's not. This is not bigoted. If you turn it bigoted, then you're bigoted. It wasn't bigoted at all. So I wasn't talking about race. Well, I guess bigoted doesn't have to be with race. I guess it's just okay. Stupid. Okay, yeah, sure. I'm bigoted against idiots.
If you enjoyed the content, please support On the Level and future projects. Membership subscriptions available now, or come and get involved at Next Level Discord server. Thank you.